Good morning, YouTubers. Welcome, welcome. We got a less than 2 minutes of the market opens. I'm going to start kind of digging down here and bringing up the options chain and look at narrow down what we need to select here in terms of our strikes. If you all didn't notice, the podcast is now live, episode 6. We're going to be talking about mitigating risk in this episode, both in our trading system and in our personal life. Risk is something that we need to discuss and account for in all aspects. Whatever decision you need to make, all from your kids, mitigating risk on whether or not they want to do a certain task, or us, whether or not we want to, quit our job, start a business, trade, invest money, take a position. It's all based on risk. 459.08, we're pinned right at 459.20, which is a 4,600 equivalent to SPX, and we're getting ready to shake and bake. Got less than a minute and a half till the market opens. The gamma flip positive, that's where we break into gamma positive territory, and there's a high probability that we'll continue our rally if we start breaking up into that area with full confidence. There's a great amount of open interest in positive gamma north of our position, roughly 462 or 461. We've got that area. I need to change out this right here. S5. Sorry, R5. R5. Cool. Right there. So, yeah, notice we have, in fact, I'm going to post this right here in my OM Notes channel. I like this right there. Let me type this up. All right. Market is now open. We've got a red and green candle shaking and baking right on top of the gamma flip positive line. Let's take a look at the positions. What are we going on here? What do we got going on? All right, so the position, my straddle's down slightly, not all that much. I'm actually happy with this considering what the market has done. Relatively flat. So I entered this position at 519. It's now down to 475. Pretty decent. Pretty decent position, although nothing crazy. It's not like we got blown out, which I like. That's fine. It's a good risk to take. Risking 8% loss to try to get a 30-40% win. So yeah, I'll take 8% loss for a risk. Anyway, we got a red candle right here coming down on R1 and sticking. Not much is moving. Not much is moving. How is everybody doing on the YouTube? Let me come in here and join y'all in the fight. And YouTube is slow as crap today. What's going on here? All right, YouTube do want to play along. There we go. There we go. Let's move the technical difficulty comments to the general chat. I don't want to gum up the chat room there. A lot of people are apparently having some audio issues.
Comments to the general.
All right. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, I'm going to close this thing soon. I'm going to let this thing shake out. If we do get a breakout, then I'll close, or I'll even close the put leg and let the call leg run. There's a crap ton of OI right here. The position's up to 490 right now, so I'm approaching break even. If ICE gets a strong bullish action here, I will elect to close the put and let the call run. But if you do that, be aware you run the risk of hitting a reversal, and now your call leg is losing money, and you've lost the ability to get on your put leg. So it's a risky situation to close out the losing leg of that situation. Boom, just went in the green on my straddle. Just went in the green. Cool, 530 on this position and climbing. And there you go. See, I just took a position overnight. I didn't blink an eye. I got plenty of sleep. I'm well rested for the first time in a long time. And I like it. I like it. All right, I'm going to close out half this position here. I'm going to take my licks and keep on ticking. I'm going to set a limit order for half here at 540. Straddle's my favorite play now. I love it, Justin. I love it. All right, so let's take a look. Yeah. Didn't get that fill on 540. I've got a limit order placed on 540 for the straddle. It looks like it's rejecting R3 and stalling just slightly. Looking around the market, we're bright green. And that's a nice, beautiful green candles. Right there. I get straddle now. Nice to add to my strat. Nice. There. See, that was the intent. The intent of that position, although yes, I wanted to make money, that wasn't the intent of that position. The intent of that position was to show you all a different strategy on which to play. There's no better way to learn a position than to actively trade it. You take small position sizes, you test theories out, and that's a perfect way to learn a different strategy. Took a little straddle there. I'm only down 68 bucks. There you go. There you go. Everyone like, yeah. So welcome. 182 people watching right now. It is Friday. A little bit of red action off R3 right here. QQQ got some red then green. XLF, what's it doing? Pretty much flat right there. Bonds now, a little bit of a base off of a significant sell-off there. Rates now are up there as well. QQQ's got some red. SPX has got some red. Booyah. Okay. Right there, looking around. All right, so we got some red action right there. I didn't get my fill, my 540 strangle, so we went back red, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll let this thing play out here for a sec. I'll let a couple of percentage points roll. Hope some of you were able to get some profits off of that straddle. Booyah. Close that out. There you go. I only closed the put leg. Well, just be careful. Oh, man. All right, big candle here. This thing smoked back down. Looks like maybe some potential profit taking or whatever, but that came all the way back down. Didn't expect that quickly. QQQ, big red candle here. Let's take a look through the X sectors. XLU, XLB, XLRE. Looking through here. So red across the board. XLY got hosed. Big old red candle on the XLY. I put in a limit order for the straddle. It didn't fill, so unfortunately I'm still holding it. But we'll look at get out here shortly. And this thing is filling out. Not good. Big red candles there. So look at that. We go above that gamma positive 49.20 and immediately smoke right down below it. So there's definitely a lot of resistance in this area, a lot of sell orders in this area that the buyers cannot punch through just yet. And I just saw a dollar swing on this straddle. Oh, you're welcome, Ross. You're welcome. Tips on identifying a bull bear trap. You want to look at volume for the most part. If you start to see stuff being bought up, or if it's sketchy price action where things keep wicking out, you can maybe anticipate some sellers coming in to smoke that position. All right, so we're right here holding R1 at the moment. Let's look at SPX right here. This 4,600 level is going to be considerable here. So watch for the 4,600 break. That's what we want to keep our eyes on. With the VIX as well. The VIX is now hovering at that 25 above 26 level, which was a consolidation point yesterday as well as a prior period. So right in this little area where VIX is sticking. Watch the VIX. Just looking around here. Let's look around here. All right, so little green candle here. Looking around the market, let's take a look at the top 10. Microsoft is slightly up, so is Apple. Amazon's slightly down. Tesla there, little red candles. Google's there, Nvidia. So a lot of just up and downs here, the action with the tech. So premiums are very pricey here. We have premiums that are extremely pricey. The put holders, the puts, for example, in particular, are very, very pricey relative to the calls as well. So we've got people that are holding calls, and the market needs to decide here whether or not we're going to go up or down. in the event that we have this little grind up over 4,600 and start climbing, we're going to have that squeeze upwards where positions are going to start to have to be closed. People are going to start to cover and the market will start climbing. And then if we do reject and come down, we will have a precipitous, that's my first use of the day, of falling. Oh yeah, the watermark for sure. Let's see, watermark right there. Boom. Let's see. All right, so we had a large green, a matching red, and now we're kind of figure out what's going to happen here with still more downward pressure as we start bouncing off the gamma level and flipping downwards. The spreads are huge for sure. I'm about to start getting into one as well. Yeah, put on the watermark. There you go. Hope that works. Sign up for your Patreon. Where do I find the daily support? If you go into the left side under the Patreon exclusive, you'll find the pre-market analysis chat tab. Click on that, and that'll get you access to everything. Little red, little red, little red. So I'm going to let the first 30 minutes or so play out before I start entering into spread. I want to kind of get the sentiment of the market. I want to let the big moves be made so I can squeeze out the most premium I can out of these positions. I don't want to take a put spread right here right before this thing starts to tank, and I surely don't want to take a call spread right before it starts to rocket. So let the big move be made. Let the premium start to gather so I could get the biggest squeeze, the biggest bang for my buck, and go from there. Still in the straddle. Still in the straddle. I have a limit order, but it didn't fill. Yeah, that's the that's the what Dirty Dusty did right there, man. That's the risk of closing one side of the leg of the straddle is that you get an immediate reversal and now you're losing both sides. That's the problem with that. Yeah, so that Justin brought up another point there. Can you close the winning side and hope for a reversal to do the other side? Yeah, you can, but it's the same risk. It's the same risk of you being wrong. As long as you're confident in that particular reversal, yeah, absolutely you can do that. Squeeze out the most out of the winning leg, and then you let it reverse. And you squeeze out the most out of the losing leg, and you get a double-double, which is, that's also something you can do. Just you have to be very accurate when you do stuff like that. Good questions, man. See, I love this stuff, man. I love people bringing up different questions about different strategies. This is where we start being inquisitive and we start learning different stuff. I love the questions. The whole purpose of this stuff. Awesome stuff. You got a double triple. Close the straddle for $100 loss because I closed my put leg first. Yeah. Yeah. Easy money running Tesla credit spreads. Yeah, I'm sure. For sure. Alrighty. All right, so we had some two big candles straight out the gate, and now we're kind of pinned right here. Not all that much movement. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The Omicron news is not going to be written off yet. We're going to have a lot of volatility with that as well, especially as it starts coming out. Because I mean, what we've only got 4 confirmed states, unless it's changed. We'll see how that starts to play out. But as soon as like starts, I guarantee it's in at least half the country right now. The same way with Corona, it kind of came out and then the floodgates opened, and all of a sudden it's in half the country, and then a week later every state had it. So I'm sure this is no different. I'm sure this is no different. If this does start in a tight, though, I'll be looking at throwing some ICs in, some 0DTE ICs, and constrain this price and start to rig in some money. Yeah, absolutely. You can look up the war market for sure, and that's part of being very market aware. All right, red candles here rejecting R3, coming down, and we're consolidating at R1, and now falling away down to S1. Nice former, bro. Well done. Well done. All right, so we've got the morning session range kind of carving out a little bit here, 457.53 to 460.29, which is a 47 plus 29, 60. So it's about a 78-cent range right here, and carving it out still. Got this red candle starting to hollow things out to the downside, and we're just about to the break-even point with the straddle right here. The not from a price point before it starts flipping over and going up once we starts coming down below this area. So if the puts continue to hollow out the downside, is when the puts will start going, the position will start going back up instead of falling because the puts will start gaining traction here. So we're about to that point right here. If it stays right here, that's when the position will start to decay. That's what you have to start thinking about managing your straddle is where is that point where it starts hiding, where it starts sticking, that the straddle starts to lose value instead of gain value. What you don't want to happen with straddles is that a position sticks and consolidates for a number of hours. Then you start to take in theta decay, both positions start decaying, IV starts to drop, and you start losing both on IV and theta, and the position starts losing money. And the more that happens, the bigger and bigger moves you need to get to either side in order to become a profitable position. So right now, what I want to do is either a smoke down S5 or a bounce back up to R3 and above to get this position back in the green quickly so theta doesn't start coming into the play and we can start making some money and get out of this position. So yeah. Let's take a look. The difference between yesterday and today is that today we actually have 0 DT options to play with your spreads. Yesterday we had a 1-day DT, which brings in a lot of different variables. Do you have to hold overnight? That the position doesn't decay as fast. It doesn't decay worthless. And like if you do play some 0 DTE spreads, the decay becomes very, very quick going into the last half of the day. So this decay starts to speed up. And then once you hit that last 2 or 3 hours of the day, as long as that position remains outside the money, you start making money very quick. The position starts decaying very fast. Every little move that comes away from your strike, with that going in the money, it stays outside the money. It goes down faster and faster. When you're playing 1-day DTs, which is what we saw yesterday, you don't get that exact effect. You have to play things a little bit differently. You have to hold things. Am I going to hold this overnight and make sure it stays below my strike, stays outside the money? But you run the risk of that position going in the money, and you're not going to get the full decay. Today we're not facing that. We do have the 0 DTEs on the spreads, and you can start to play accordingly. Alrighty, alrighty. Looking for a little green right there. So I'm just looking through the option chain at the moment, not being quiet, not ignoring y'all. Just joined your Discord yesterday. How do I find your program on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Understand? Yeah. So if you go down to the bottom left, you'll see a voice channel section, the very bottom of the Discord, and then you'll see a Patreon stages section. Click on that, and that'll get you access in there. And that's a voice channel will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right, looking around here, we've got the so these straddles are currently sitting about $4.50, and we'll see if this thing comes down. More red, more red. So now is when I'm going to start looking at jumping to some short positions, some puts, if we start breaking below this S1. We've kind of broken outside this little range here, and I'm going to start deciding what are going to happen from here on out. QQQs have considerable amount of weakness right now. XLF has got a red candle right there as well. XLY, XLV's got red and rounding down. XLK is there as well. Let's take a look at the top 10. A lot of weakness coming across. Look at that. Tesla's getting smoked. Amazon's down considerably. No green candles on Amazon right there. Google's down as well. Nvidia, Facebook getting down. So look at that big red candle. Big red candle. Man, look at that. All right, December 6th right there. No volume at those whatsoever. All right, so now I'm left with the decision, do I trade 0 DTE SPX or 3-day DT SPY? Y'all know my answer, so I'm going to switch over to SPY for now because there's absolutely no volume on these contracts. Let's take SPX, SPY right here. I'm going to be going with the 455s. Coming down to S2, watch this right here. If we fail this and start breaking, it's going to get spicy very quick. Very quick. And just blasting right through. Blasting right through. Holding S2 at the moment. All right, watch this level right here. Getting antsy. So we're coming down. It looks like we're going for a gap fill if that happens. Watch out for a bounce or a recovery. We know how things like to shake and bake. A little bit of retreat here, a little bit of retreat. Big red candles on tech as SPY continues to fall. Right there. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Boom. All right, I'm in that position there. It's already quickly adjusting. So I've got $1.80 on that fill right there. And man, it's already $1.92, $1.93, $1.95, $1.96. I'm in that put, that 455 December 3rd put, $2. I'm going to put a limit order in for half at 2 because I'm coming down to S3. All right, cool. So I got half there at $2. I'm in it the first order at 180. I'm out half at $2, and it's already coming back up here. Just be careful here because this thing is moving and shaking and making. I'm going to put a limit order. No. Where's this thing going? So that thing just flipped around. I thought I was going to get a bounce. I was going to put a stop at 180 at break even. But it's coming back down. Ooh, look at that. Good flush through S3. Good flush through S3 and still holding. Come on, baby. All right, there's 203. I'm going to take another bit off at 203. Where can we get it? Well, oh man, it's still falling. All right. What we got? Still falling. 221, 223, 224. All right, 220. Let's try this one out. I love it, dude. I love it. All right, so I took another position off at 220. I'm holding a small remainder of this position now. So we got an exit at $2. We got an exit at 220. And we're still holding right here at S3. We've got this bottom wick out. Nice 30% gain on some puts. Well done. Well done. Big wick right there. I don't like to see that. Let's take a look here. $1.87, $1.83. I'm going to go ahead and take $1.86 right here because I don't want to get flushed on the rest of this position. All right, let's see how this candle shakes out. Holding a little bit left in this position. There's not much. There's $1.86. What's the Qs doing? Let's not be lazy. I don't want to be lazy. Qs are still flushing, so I'm going to hold off just a touch. $1.82, $1.83. I don't like it. Strength or hammer candle on XLF. Yep, I'm out here. $1.83. Cool. Out of that position altogether. 183 on the remainder. Love to see it. Watching this live is a rush. Is it okay to be scared while putting a large trade? It depends how large. If that position size is too large, you're going to be shaking. It's going to be too big for you again. So, good stuff. All right. Look at that hammer candle right there. Smoked it right up. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Faux shizzle. Right here. What we got? So we've got just before the 10.05 reversal. Do we get the 10.05 reversal here, or do we start climbing? Or do we start continue to fall? That's what I'm saying. QQQ's got this bottom hammer candle right now. SPY is right here. Yep, sorry I didn't post that play live. I was trying to discuss that and vocalize that as fast as I could, but that thing was moving too quick to be posting live. So, yeah, I'll do a write-up of it here in a second. Time for look for calls, potentially. Wait for the confirmation candle, the follow-on candle, to see if we're going to bounce or we're going to continue to fall. Here's more red coming in. Still holding. Might be done for the day with that 30%er. Yeah, buddy. I'm glad we're able to scrape out a win already. Little 22%er for me. All right, watch this red candle come on back down again. Now, if we do get a confirmed bounce, this is where, because we've had such an egregious move to the downside, this is where I'll look at closing the put leg of the straddle and ride the calls up. And then I'll start looking at increasing another position in calls if we get a bounce here, which right now it's looking pretty bearish. And I don't want to be lazy and sit here and look. Look at Microsoft getting smoked. Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Google, Nvidia's down, Facebook's down, Berkshire is starting to turn red, and JP Morgan's down. The whole market is doing this little downward action. Look at utilities. Let's see materials here. Just looking around the market, I want to take my litmus test. Market awareness. This is market awareness. XLY, XLK. We've got this little bottom wick. So S3 appears to be holding. That's where we consolidated yesterday. See, we had a bounce, and then we consolidate, and then we rocketed. So S3 is considerable. Considerable. Little green, little green. 10:05 is approaching. This is where we get 5 minutes. This is where we get that move. Are we going to get the move? Let's see. I'm going to sell the put side. All right. I am going to take a risk here and close the call, the put side of the straddle. I'm going to wait a few more potatoes. Make sure we get a bounce. There it is right there. Pretty decent. And see if we can get a flow back inside, because this is almost 10:05. We're still inside the range here so far. We're hollowing out the bottom a little bit. We've got a, 455.12 to 460.29. That's nearly a $5 range. I'm waiting for a confirmation though. Otherwise, I'll let this baby ride. All right, that green candle got smoked. No looking good. So I'm going to take that thesis off the table because that green candle got smoked. And watch for a rejection here. We've got VWAPs way up here. We've got an RS3, which is considerable. And then we've got this red candle starting to hollow out. And now we're starting to increase. Now the straddles, if you're watching the straddles, now they'll get to the point where they're starting to increase back. We got here where they went up. They came down in value. They started to fizzle out. And now they're going back into value. They're starting to increase in value again as we flow down. So now I'm going to look at entering more positions in terms of, yeah. Booyah. Down we go. Down we go. If they saw the volume, somebody, why is the price moving so low? I mean, we just had a $6 move. Just be aware. We just had a $6 move, so I don't think price movement is so low. Look at this candle right here. Biggest candle of the day, flushed the red down to 454.56, and down we go. Let's see right here. That's a 60-point swing right there. All right, I'm going to do a write-up on this. I'm making notes here. Making notes. Green there, XL, VIX coming up. S4 bottom wick, big sell. QQQ still getting smoked in the face right now. Man, more reds can't be bought. I like it. No, I closed my puts. I'm still in the straddle, but I closed my puts. All right, QQQ down here. SPY is now hitting S4 now, and that's a $5.50 move right there. Nice, Johnny. Well done. Well done. Q is still getting smoked. Beautiful, beautiful. Watch these bottom wicks. Watch these bottom wicks right here. Hey, 320 people watching. If you are new to the channel or if you're on here watching, hit that like button for me. Get some awareness to the videos. People start learning how to trade this properly. Here, you know what? We'll go ahead and do this because I've got my levels open to everybody anyway. So there you go. All right, QQQ. There you go. XLV, XLK. Getting a little bit of a bounce. All right, straddle, close, 463. Now I'm going to close the put leg at 260, 272, 270 right there. All right, close the put leg at 270. And now I'm going to let the call leg run. Hopefully. I'm going to take a little risk there. That is a risky, but now I'm going to let the call leg run. Close that right there. Booyah. Boeing $3 sell-off. Yep, there's going to be a lot of shaking and baking with the airline industries with Boeing there as well. Y'all know me. I'm a big proponent of Boeing. I'm a big shareholder of Boeing. Big user of Boeing products. If y'all catch my drift. But right now, they're a little shaking and baking. That's fine. I'll keep adding on the way down. QQQ got a little bit of green here. XLF has got some green bounce. 3 green candles in a row on XLF and climbing. XLY has got a little green. XLV is claiming. So we have a little bit of bull action here. A little bit of bull. 905, there's 906. Where are we going to get the change? And where are we going to go from here? After the morning range is quite significant. 454.32 to 460.29. That's almost a $6 range. $6 range. $50 profit on some puts. Nice, Ryan Hockley. Well done. So that green candle flip green, SPY, is holding right there. Now what I'll do, since y'all know I closed the put leg, now I'm going to let the call leg run if we get a bounce. What I'll do is I'll post a stop where I think the price will be somewhere if the price action comes down here. That way it'll keep me protected in the event that I'm wrong and this does continue to fall. I don't want a double whammy on the straddle here. So I'll protect myself from downside in the event that this does not bounce, and I'll put a stop somewhere where I think the price will be right about here. It will limit my downside. Mitigate your risk, calculate risk, accommodate risk. VIX right now spiked to 29.70, which is where it spiked a couple of days ago and yesterday as well before rejecting. So we are in this little pivot zone for VIX. We spiked up to over 32 when we have that big downside. $33% gain on account. Nice, Jim. Well done. Well done. Right there. Coming on down. Coming on down. Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful. I love the volatility. Me personally, I like playing volatile markets. I think it takes advantage of it takes advantage. If you longer you take advantage of the price action, I think it works wonders. Works wonders. All right, hold on. Hold. right there. Trading. Dang it. Let's go. All right, watch this breakout. We're now below the afternoon range here. QQQ flushing right there. Watching. XLF kind of rounded over here. XLV gave back that green. XLY is still in free fall. And it looks like we are shaking and baking again. All right, man, I got to post this. Hold on, back in these puts. Entry 12.6. Boom. Still coming on down. 174. Okay, dang it. Things are moving like crazy. 174. All right, good deal. Well, that position's already out, so I can't even post that one. That thing happened way too fast. So, look at the VIX here. The VIX is starting to skyrocket 29. This is some extremely quick movement here. So, y'all got to be very much on your toes as this thing is just moving all around and going nuts. I did stop out of that straddle, of that one position. Like I said, I set that price where it's down here, and it starts to come on down, and I'll calculate the overall loss on that for y'all. But yeah, as we're coming on down 453.91, let's zoom out and let's look at the 1 year chart. This is where we want to start looking at the overall theme here. Look at these volatile moves. This is nuts on the 1 year chart. Big red, green, and then another red here. Not to say that we won't finish this one green. You never know how the market works. But right now, the volatility abounds, going crazy. Let's watch tech. Tech, straight line down, green candle right here. SPY. All right, I need to post up a spread here. Close right there, 20 cents right there. Nope, I'm not. I was typing out my exit for that when I exit the position, so I didn't even have time to post that position. So all right. Bought calls in the green candle. All right, let's see what happens. I need to come down here and take a screenshot of this right here. No, not yet. Just bear with me one sec. Right there. Just bear with me for a sec. 46.50, 46. Good to go. Yep, might need S6. If we start breaking down, I'll start calculating S6. I had that in the write-up of my last play was posted there. Yeah, so a lot of people have been asking where am I going to start posting my call writing positions, my short positions, because I have been doing write-ups, not play calling, but write-ups for the incredible Patreoners room. And so people are asking how am I going to expand that, and the idea is to start expanding that into the super Patreoners room, as well as doing own write-ups for everybody there. So hope you all are ready for that. That's also going to be tying into the incredible Patreoners classroom settings, and the classroom settings will be coming on this month. That's the tier 3 are shifting to classroom settings. It's going to be myself doing the classroom setting group session, as well as I'm in talks with Veteran to come on there and do some teachings and other trusted parties in the community. So if that's something you want to be a part of, join the tier 3, and we'll be doing some great classroom settings, 2 or 3 a month, going over all questions related, whether or not you want to do some short positions, long positions, how to read the market, how to read the VIX, and everything in between. It'll be a great setting to learn. Great setting to learn. If that's something you want to be a part of, click on the link down in the description of the video to go to the Patreon account and sign up for that tier 3. Yep, I'm out of that straddle. Out of that straddle. Yeah, my overall loss for that straddle was a 14% loss. That was the net credit for that. And I'll post that here as well. Exit the calls at 174 and the puts at 270. And that was my overall entry point was 519. Yeah, so we opened a straddle in right before the market closed yesterday. I opened a 456 straddle, long straddle. I figured there was going to be a high probability of a gap one way or the other. We did get the gap. Unfortunately, we downtraded before we gapped up, and it brought us pretty close to break even, but then we had a market break up, and we were actually up a good 15% on that position. Unfortunately, I didn't get the fill that I wanted, and it dropped on me, and I ended up with a 14% loss. But, here's a good thing. Here's finding the bright spots in a loss. Is that look how much that position fell. We went from 459 to 453. That's a $6 move, and I only lost 14% on a straddle. So it just goes to show you the position can't slam against you, because when the price falls, you have a put working for you. When the price gains, you have the call working for you, and it mitigates your risk. So it's a good position if you want to start playing with some stuff and unexpected moves. If you want a large swing, unexpected direction, play some straddles. Nice, well done. 87%. All right, so let's take a look. QQQ's got a little green here, SPY. Let's do this here. OM plays. I'm going to reply to that. There. Let's see here. That's always a good time. Let's see, December 3rd, 455s. All right. I wouldn't take a straddle that far out, me personally. I think you're going to build in too much decay when you start doing straddles that long. Me personally. Yeah, absolutely, Wolfenstein, and I tried to do that. Absolutely, me personally, it's too. You have to be very, very accurate in order to close one side or the other. However, attempted to put a limit order in up here. I didn't get the fill, and it came down. The position was only down a little bit. I elected to close the puts because their puts were up so much, and then play the calls up, and we just didn't get the bounce. So it's fine. 14% loss, no big deal. Uh, Ended up taking two more puts there, both profitable. Full transparency, I accidentally played December 3rds in my fray, so I posted those there instead of December 6th in my attempt to open a straddle. I do have, not a straddle, a spread. I do have a CCS open, that's why, because I was going with the 0 DTE spreads, and I just bought up puts and stuck the order in there. So still made some good puts, good money off puts, and I posted those as well. And I did the write-up of the credit spread in the Incredible Patreoners room. Yellow dots. That is the veterans morning session range that goes from market open until 10:05 Eastern time. It sets the high and a low price for the day. Yeah, I just did that, Vinny. Yep. Man, Seeking Alpha is not playing around with their notifications today. Garbage. Yeah, I have the Seeking Alpha app on my phone. I don't use it at all, but they're blowing my phone up with notifications today. News alerts. All right, so now I've got what, 4 plays under my belt. That's a lot of trading, especially in the first morning of the day. Things are working really well. We're making some money. Yeah, it's terrible. Seeking Alpha is terrible. Now we're waiting for S4. Where are we going to break for S4? It is a dumpster fire. Yeah. That's right. Trade smarter. Good job. Well done. Well done. Yeah, it gives you some great price action on which to bounce or sell off. Nice, Justin. Well done. Oh yeah. All right. Here's the write up there. I'll give that to the super Patreoners as well, since we're doing open communication today. It's good stuff. We need closing open house. It'll be over today. I'll let it play throughout today, and then I'll close it. Just want people to see all the value and see what happens behind the scenes here. After this afternoon. So the close of the let's say the close of the market. We'll call it that. All right, so I will say Sunday, this coming Sunday, I'll be doing the first of the tier 3 classroom settings. I'm gonna do 3 this month in December because I want to accommodate people's different schedules. I'm gonna do 2 on the weekends. I'm gonna do 1 on a weekday night, so everyone can pick a time and come in there. So I'll be doing the first one this Sunday, and I'll post the exact times. I'll probably sometime early afternoon, probably, and we'll be doing it via Zoom, most likely, so we could take advantage of the video settings and go over charts, go over thought processes, go over brokers, how to do execute orders, basically whatever you want. So this Sunday it'll be starting. Ooh, average down on some puts. All right. Let's see here. What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? Thanks, James. Appreciate that. I just woke up. My account is decimated. What'd you do? ETFs are used to build a diversified portfolio. Yes, very much so. Very much so. VIX is going crazy, and that is what we need to focus on because right now we're holding 29, which is incredibly elevated for our normal market conditions. With VIX being up this high, we need to figure out what's going on. Now the premiums are very, very high. The premiums are very high here, so there's going to be a lot of people that are holding puts right now. Puts are very egregiously priced, and the market is going to anticipate where it's going to go. Now, the people holding puts are going to start covering, or are they going to be rewarded? And we need to look at that. Right now, we are below. We are back inside negative gamma after popping below. Yeah, averaging down is risky. Averaging down is definitely risky. If you look at S4 where we came down, it's where we consolidated on the big dip 2 days ago. It's where we kind of used as a bounce point yesterday, and we're doing it again here. So this area right here at S4 is shaky. Yeah, if you're having issue with your audio, just restart your Discord. Everything else is set up fine. There are some people seem to be having an issue here, but I would recommend restarting your Discord. It's working for most. So I'm on the 3 minute chart right now. 3 minute charts at the moment. If you want to get these ranges, just go into your trading view and go into indicators and type in vet session ranges, and that'll pop up your the yellow and blue dots. You mean trade indices or securities? To me, I've traded everything under the sun. I elected to trade SPY because to me it's more predictable than trading individual securities like everything else under the sun, for example. So SPY is not usually hit by individual news pieces. So I like to do these because it brings in a whole market breadth. It brings in the entire market, the entire news of the market. So it's a little less risky for me, a little more predictable, relatively more predictable. All right, so a little consolidation right here, S3, S4. Let's watch for a break here. This is where I want to start anticipating where or not we're going to start entering plays is right off this move. We have identified the bottom of the range, which is this 454.32, and it's pretty much co-located here at S4. And we want to start identifying where the price is going to move from here. Do I ever trade the Qs? Every now and then I'll trade the Qs. It's been a while. I need to see some strong reasons why I want to trade the Qs in addition to the SPY, but it's been a while. Yeah, buddy. We can't get any big yeah buddies until we see some big movements. So let's start taking a look at the premiums. How are the premiums holding up here? I want to make sure I get some good credit. Trading, options chain, bring up the SPX. Man, they're still holding that. Look at that green candle. The 4600s are looking tasty again, not going to lie. Cody going with some CCS is what I'm about to do. No, he didn't. Never mind. I read that wrong. I was thinking the put side. I was like, man, he's aggressive. Yeah, I was looking at doing the same again, Cody, if you're listening. Let's see. Thanks for doubling down my put bias. All right, look at this red candle coming on back down. Do I dare go at 4600 again like I did yesterday? That's the key here. I think I'm going to do it. Premiums are still 320 a piece on these. And we've got what? We need a 46 point rage down to SPX to get back to 4600. Decisions. those. Those are half the price. All right, so get the big legs down here. Now we need to pick out which positions we're going to be looking at. Half the price by twice as much. I love it. Oh, nice. Me and Cody just took the same credit spread. Virtually the same time. Hey, Andrew, had a question about the levels. When making your own, should they line up exactly as yours? No, no. I want them to be. I definitely want them to be close, but they don't have to be exact. Like, I just want y'all. The whole thing is I want y'all to learn the principle behind making these levels and start to form your own thoughts. Obviously, mine most of the time they're not down to the cent; they're close. And here's the thing: although it's nice, sometimes I do nail the levels down to the cent, the penny, but that's not the intent. The intent is to identify a small range on which I can anticipate the price to fluctuate. So I'm not arrogant enough to think these things are going to pin to the cent every time, but I do want a decent range on which I can anticipate certain price movement. It gives me places in the ether out here where I can anticipate when and where to exit trades. Yep, zones. Zone defense, baby. Zone defense. I played a lot of sports growing up, so I have a lot of sports references. So it seemed that trading SPY would be a good start for beginners. You just want to make sure you're doing your due diligence. I wouldn't say it's bad or good for beginners. It does require level of market awareness. If you want to be good, I should say, if you want to be great at trading SPY, you need to learn market awareness. What's inside of SPY? What makes up all the X sectors? What trades each one? What moves the market? What happens when we have a president that likes to tweet a lot? What happens when we have a president that says hardly anything at all? Like you need to understand what moves markets, how to adjust markets, and how to go from there. Practice, practice, practice. There you go. Market awareness. I usually finalize my levels about 9 o'clock Eastern time. I try to have them posted as close to 9 o'clock Eastern time as possible. Sometimes a little earlier, sometimes 5 or 6 minutes late. Alrighty, QQQ. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right. You'll want some good listening on your drive home from work, or your drive to work, or just sitting there doing nothing. Go take a look at the episode 6 of the Making Millionaires Podcast. Talk about risk mitigation. How do you mitigate risk? How do you account for risk in your daily life? Are you scared to take risk? That's just as bad as taking too much risk, in my opinion. Sometimes it's more detrimental. I would rather have somebody taking a little too much risk than not enough. You're not taking enough risk, you're not making enough money. You're not reaching your full potential in life if you're not taking enough risk. So let me know what you think about the episode. Don't let my wife know that. Cody signed a prenup. That's funny. OM, do you ever give yourself some time off from trading? Not since I started OM. Yeah, I did. Occasionally, I'll go. Especially on like in the spring, fall time when it's super nice outside. Like I won't even trade. Sometimes, like I'm an outdoors person. I like the outdoors calls to me. Like right now, I've got the windows open. Like I got to be outside. Since I started OM, obviously I've got obligations. I need to trade for y'all. I want to teach y'all. I love trading y'all, so I haven't taken much time off. I will say, great segue. Next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week, I will be out. So y'all be without me. If we break under S5, by the way, I'll be looking at taking puts. I'll still be posting my pre-market analysis. I'll still be posting SR levels. I told my wife, yes, we're on vacation, but I still have to do those. But I won't be trading with you all. So you'll be on your own for 3 days next week. December 6th, SPY. Man, these premiums are pricey. All right, watch for this breakdown. Watch for this breakdown. Are you planning a Yosemite trip next summer? Not the Yosemite will be a June trip, but this is going to be a Colorado trip. All right, I'm in these puts right here. Cautious, as this thing is going to shake out. I want you to play with extreme caution. Extreme caution. So we're breaking below S5. I took that position right when we started breaking below. And let's see where we go. See, right there, we got some green right there. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Okay. So a little red, buying that down. So we need to completely destroy that green as we come on down. I don't like that green shaking me out there, so I'm taking some risk off the table. Risk mitigation, what did we just talk about? Risk mitigation. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Come on. Get it. Good flush. That green kind of spooked me there, I'm not going to lie. That green got my stomach turning a little bit. But here we go. Bouncing off S5. We took some off here. We got a little red. Got a little red. QQQ. Double gap down there. XLF is selling off hard. What are the bonds doing? Look at the buy up on the bonds. You got to diversify your bonds. 452.81. That kind of got bought up just a little bit here. All right, here we go. Little down, little down, little down. Ooh, 317. QQQ is getting a little bought, a little bought. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? 320. Can I get a fill of 320? Can I get a fill of 320? What are we going to do? 319. 320. 321. Come on, flush it. Come on, baby. We're in the ether now. We're below S5. We're in the ether. There's 325. There's 330. 326. All right. 323. I took more off at 323. And now we're letting a little bit ride. You ever seen that movie? Anybody seen that movie Let It Ride from the 80s? Great movie, by the way. One of my favorite 80s movies. You got the horse right here. His name is no. All right, 334 and coming down. Let's go, baby. I got two credit spreads open. I got this current put open, and we're still falling away from S5. QQQ. Who says you can't play short positions, long positions at the same time? While streaming, while typing on Discord, while taking screenshots. Sorry, I just broke my arm, patted myself in the back. 330. I'm closing the rest at 330. All right. Anyone know what the largest day SPYs have in the past decade? I bet it was Corona. It had to have been Corona. All right, where's my credit spreads at? Oh, man. Tempted not to take those. After yesterday, I'm tempted to go ahead and close those babies out. Am I right, Cody? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man, 6 plays for me in one day. I'm starting to feel a little dicey. Nope, I'm using 3-minute chart. XS6. Yes, I need to do that. I have to be very careful saying that. Let's take a look. More bears is piled on. All right, get the salmon out. Get the salmon out because the bears might be coming in to eat. They're hungry. Watch this red. I'll be looking to enter in some more. I'll be just going with the same puts. 451. Hey, by the way, anybody counting? If there's anybody counting, we're approaching another $10 day. Another $10 day. 460.25 all the way down to 451.88. God, look at this. Look at this. Would you look at it? Anybody still holding that straddle? Man, look at this. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm still calculating. Give me a sec. I did not anticipate S6 today, I'm not going to lie. I thought S5 would be just fine. Oh, you're very welcome, new base player. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man, I'm going to miss this action. I want y'all to soak this stuff in. Soak it in. Soak it in. Y'all said, hey, I wish I would have played the Corona downside. This is it. $10 moves in a day. This is it. So I hope you are enjoying this. VIX is a little lower than it was on Corona Crash, but I don't want to hear, man, I wish we play coronavirus in a war, because this is it. This is Corona movement. Massive, massive volatility, huge price swings, almost $10 moves in minutes. This is what you're looking for. Yeah, I don't care about my long-term account. It'll be all right. Let's see. Man, that's huge. I can't believe. Man, we blasted through S3 like it was nothing, and that was the biggest one by far. Well, spot gamma doesn't even have any gamma posted below this level. That's how far we've dropped today, and it's still falling. All right. Hold on. I'm just going to have to go off price action here and open interest. He sounds like Darth Biden. Darth Biden. That's funny. Oh, man. Oh, nice, Nomad Trader. Well done. Yeah, opportunity abounds. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Refresh. Come on, Brent. I need my gamma. Give me my gamma. Oh, that reminds me. When I was at when I was at the park with the kids, last week I saw a old minivan with a license plate on the front license plate that said Gamma. I guess like grandma is short for Gamma. I took a picture of it without any kind of identifying information, but I forgot to show it to y'all. Thought it was a sign. Anyway, open interest 450. What we got right there? What are the orders coming in at? Okay, good deal. Watch. Well, I mean, don't write out. Write out. Don't creepy OM. Don't write off a V recovery. It happened. Could you imagine a $10 V recovery? $10 sell off, $10 V recovery. Okay, right there. I could see why it bounced here. I'm not going to form an R6 here because I don't want people to say that I'm front running a level. But I would say at that price level where it bounced will be a decent S6 there, because there is a lot of price action that is supportive of that bounce. There's some open interest right around that level too. If it comes down, I'll look at doing an F7, and I'll just kind of call that S6, that level where it bounced. Love to see it. Man, I love it. All right, TLT is climbing back up. A lot of crazy volatility. Now look at this. Something we don't really talk about all that much. The move. The bond market volatility index. So we're up to 82.5. Last time we were this high, let's come back here. March 2020. Volatility of the bonds is incredibly high. The craziness of the bonds selling off, buying up, it's nuts. I've never seen anything like it. And it's matching the price action of February and March 2020. Why is my trading view chart only showing half the chart? Because with the settings, if I zoom out too far, people say it's kind of blurry. So I kind of zoomed in on the chart so you can see the price action and the data a little bit easier. I could zoom out if y'all want me to, but I just want y'all to be able to see all the data. Yeah, the move has not been this high since COVID crash. It's crazy. Have y'all seen the prices of meat? Crazy. I'm a big smoker, like meat smoker, not not like smoking, but all meat is crazy. It's crazy expensive in Publix. In Kroger, in Publix, there's crazy meat prices there. So I mean, it's nuts how expensive everything is. You can't enjoy all the little stuff in life. Supply chain for sure, for sure. All right, coming up to S5 again, holding this level. Sweet baby rays, baby. Yeah, yeah. I made some braised short ribs a couple weeks ago, man. Talk about some decadence, man. Tara, it was delicious. Holding December 31st calls. All right, no. So let's get into a different conversation here because obviously we have a lot of bearishness, a lot more than most people are looking at. I'll be honest with you. I started getting the first time we had a sell-off. What was it? 5 days ago. The first big downside. I think it was here or here. One of the two. One of these days. One of the first days we had the big sell-off. I started to get aggravated because the only thing people were talking about was buy the dip, buy calls, buy the dip. I was like, man, that is what is going to smoke you. That is what's going to destroy. Like when the market does correct, whether it's 2022, 2023, whenever it actually does correct, if it does, whenever it does, it's going to smoke retail traders because all they're doing, all they've grown accustomed to is just buying calls every time you see any red on the chart. And unfortunately, it's been working. They've been rewarded doing that for the past 18, 20 months. So if you're going to buy a call or take a long position after a red action, just make sure you're being a little analytical. Make sure your thesis is sound before you do that instead of just simply buy every dip. Because that's what's going to destroy a significant number of the newer traders that came into the market the past year or two. All right, so we're consolidating here. I'm waiting for another play. Figure out where we're going to go. All right. Let's take a look here. Let's start forming. I do want to form an S6 and an S7, just like yesterday. I had to form all the way up to R9 yesterday. Today it looks like I'm going to have to do the downside. Right here. Okay. I'm going to call this bounce S6. Yes, it's not my level. It's just price action. My level would have been around here. So I'm going ahead and disclaimer. I don't want to use dictation. Leave me alone, dictation. Right there. We'll call that S6. Yep, so I've taken 6 plays today. 6 plays today. Unsuccessful on one, 14% loss on one, but doing very well on the rest of them. I got 2 still open. As long as the price doesn't rocket 100 points, we should be good. Yep, just what Cody said right there. He did it right. So let me post this here in the pre-market analysis. S6. S7. There you go. All right, updated levels are posted in the pre-market analysis channel. And consolidating between S5 and S6 right now. Can I explain a call credit spread? Yeah. Yeah. All right, so when you want to take a call credit spread or a put credit spread, but in this case a call credit spread, you are anticipating basically what your thesis is. A call credit spread is a bearish position. Put credit spread is a bullish position. When you open a call spread, you are saying your thesis is that you don't expect the market to cross a particular point. I opened the 4600, 4650. In addition to the 4600 or the 4650, 4700 position, I have two of them. But the 4600, 4650, I'm basically saying I will say the SPX today is not going to cross back over 4600. As long as SPX closes under 4600, I will make money. Now the 4650, so what I do is you sell calls at 4600, and then you buy a 4650 call. You're buying a way outside the money call. You're using that to increase your buying power. You're buying against your written position to increase the amount of buying power. I do that because today I did a zero DTE. Zero DTEs I want because I want that position to decay very fast. When you're doing long positions, when you're doing long positions, zero DTEs are very risky because they decay against you very quickly. With a written position, you want that kind of action. You want that position to decay very quickly, especially when applied volatility is this high. The writing positions, the premiums are still very high, so you can get a phenomenal amount of credit on zero DTEs because the premiums are still very pricey. And that's good for us. We want to buy high and let them decay down to nothing because we get more credit. We're able to accumulate more of that premium. So I elected to take a 4600. We have 4600 right here. I took a 4600 and I bought the 4650 to increase my buying power against the 4600 written calls. It allows me to buy more with my money, and I collect that premium. So as long as that price, SPX, closes below 4600 today, that position will expire worthless, and I collect 100% of my money. You can actually lose. Now the downside to it is that you can lose thousands of percents of your money, not just 100%. Like for example, when 2 days ago when the market tanked, if you didn't know what you're doing, you could have lost 1, 2, 3, 4,000% of your money, because that's the put or the, for example, let's see, in that example, since the market went down, the put credit spread, if you would have bought, because a put credit spread is a bullish position, if you would have bought a put credit spread up here, the put that you wrote, which is a bullish position, is going to start increasing in value. So if you would have wrote it here at $2, it could have fell down to like $50, and you're talking thousands of percent loss there. So you do have to be careful when writing those positions. It's kind of like with great power comes great responsibility. If you're going to make those type of plays, you have to. I'm just reading some stuff. You have to be able to manage the downside, manage the risk. Yes, exactly. That's why you're hedging against that. It does protect you. It does protect you against extreme loss for sure. Yep, and you can. I mean, that's part, and what y'all are discussing is that's part of managing the downside. That's where you can start. All right, I'm going to close out the written leg. I'm gonna add to my longer leg. I'm going to buy more calls to hedge against the loss. That kind of thing. You can buy more calls. You can write it, or you can close your short positions, or open up a new position altogether. Buy futures to start hedging against the position. So absolutely, yeah. There's a whole bunch of different ways to manage that position. By the way, More red candles. Let's watch. S5, red candle right now popping through the 8 EMA and S6 in nice healthy breath on that candle. XLF has got some downward action here. What are the VIX doing? The VIX now is popping up to 30.36, and down we go right now through S6. I'll be looking to enter some more puts here in a second. Bring up the options chain, baby. I'll be going with the 449 December 6th, currently trading for $3.17 a piece if we start popping to the downside. I'll pre-type an entry. I'm not in any position yet, but I'll pre-type an entry. Ooh, what we got? Come on. What's Q doing? Man, I love this action. SPX is already down 60 points. XLF is there. If XLF falls in addition to the other man's, down we go, dude. Down we go. Three minutes to the drop, huh? All right. I hope you're right. QQQ's got a little red, XLF. So we got some green on the V's, red on the Y's, red on the K's. What's the VIX doing? VIX is way up here, man. If we break this level and go up higher to a 32 where we were, it's drop city. Look at this action, man. Awesome volatility. Look at the bonds. Beautiful. I'm taking it. XLF started to dip. So XLF, that was that key trigger. That was the one that I was waiting for XLF to fall in addition to the V, Y, and X. We've got a little downside in F, so I'm going to test my thesis here that we come on down. Play very smart. Play very safe here. It's tight. QQQ's got some red here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring SPY. I'm going to bring Q's. I'm going to bring VIX. I wanted to monitor all of these right here. Right here. Not getting the flush I wanted. Not getting the flush I wanted. Careful. Careful. Wait till we get the flush. I'm not going to get the warm and fuzzies. My finger's on the sell button until I get it. Oh, that's not wanted. Booyah. That's not what I wanted right there. So that's why I wanted to be very careful with finger on the sell button because of that movement right there. Me no likey. Me no likey. Let's see. 450.30. Right there. Oh, I already got that up here. I'll stop changing the charts. Right there. All right. Well, that's what we have to be careful of because we saw it to start to flush, and this is what I was really looking at. When I started the XLF start to come into play, and now we have that immediate green come in right there. So that is what I really want to focus on. Now let's watch what happens. Let's watch what happens. All right, I'm out right there. Sorry, you can't understand me when I've got a pencil in my mouth. All right, so sounded like Mork. Yeah, so when you got that big green up right there, that's when you want to start looking at. All right, are the bulls starting to pile in here? Are the bulls starting to pile in here? Now we got a double green candle. So now we want to look at, all right, do we have reversal in play? So until we get a confirmation bounce, after that big downside, I was waiting on my thesis. My thesis was XLF sells off. We got the red. I entered the put. Didn't get the position I wanted. That's fine. I'll close it out. And now I'm looking, where do we go from here? Now I start to form my thesis. I'm starting to get a little high on my number of trades, so I definitely want to start playing a little more conservative. I'm not used to usually playing 7, 8 trades a day. That's fine. Tesla's still selling off. I like it. I like it. So still a lot of bearishness in tech. Bob accidentally opened calls and made some money. I love it. Love it. All right, D Money. XLF is the financial sector. So SPY is made up of 11 different sectors. I've got them listed right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Yep. Make sure this is live. Okay. Greatest to least. So they're different weightings from 28-ish% to 2% and everything in between. XLF is right here. That's the financial sector. It's the fourth biggest sector in SPY. You got tech, you got consumer, you got healthcare, and you've got financial sector right there, XLF. So I definitely want it. When you've got rotation from bonds into the financial sector, I want to monitor it via the rotation from TLT the bonds and XLF. Little green here, little green. So my call spreads are up over 50% right now. I do not want to risk another. Yesterday's got me skittish, man. Yesterday's got me skittish. I thought I was safe with my 4,600 yesterday, and it ran up to 46 on the money. Is that a graph how sneezes work? Take the 50. No, I'll hold it. I'll hold it. Yesterday was a one-day DTE, so it was a little different. It was a little different. Today's 0. A little bit more aggressive today. Turn that 50 into 100. That's right. What's up, Tristan? What happened? Tesla's down 6%. Man, look at all the red in the action here. Now, I'll play devil's advocate here. There's a lot of red in the market. There's a lot of red in the market. Don't romanticize puts at the moment. This thing can turn on a dime, so keep yourself on your toes. Recognize, take proper. You want to, what is it? Maintain control. analyze the situation, take proper action, and then land as soon as conditions permit. Got any Air Force pilots in here? Anyone? Bueller? Yeah, so we want to make sure that we are analyzing every situation here. And we've got 425, 452.26. We're currently below S5 over S6. VIX is holding 30. 30. Right now, things do look like they're going to fall further. However, SPY has been known to rage. Until then, I'm hanging out. I've got 2 call spreads open. I've made my money today. I'm happy. I'm sitting happy. Have you done a call about call spreads, or would you recommend a total loss and how your call would be up 50%? Oh, yeah. So when you write a call, you are playing the opposite of buying a call. When you write a call, you want the price to go down because the price is going to decay. I'm going to collect that premium. So writing a call is a bearish position. Writing a put is a bullish position. They're opposite of buying. So think about it just opposite. You buy a put, you want it to go down. You write a put, you want it to go up. All right, another red action here coming on S7. Bonds are still raging, dude. Raging. Saying dude now, I think about that dude on TikTok that does Cajun food. Come on, dude. Yeah, most of the time, Anton, he's right. Most of the time, he's right. The SPY and VIX are inversely correlated, or inversed. Some of the times, they do correlate in the same direction. That happens in high liquid markets. When markets are supercharged and there's a crap ton of liquidity buying in here, when we're climbing up, sometimes you'll see the VIX and the SPY go the same direction. I'll update this weekend. Well, I need to do that. I'm hovering right about 81, 82%. It's been hovering right around in there. VIX calls at 50. Wow. So we're still holding this level. We're still holding. If we break below down towards S7, it's going to get super dicey, y'all. Super dicey. Watch VIX. Here, you know what? I want to bring y'all attention to this. Let's do right here. We're going to do yellow. We're going to do thick. Watch that lever right there. Tesla still falling? Wow, look at Tesla. Still falling. Nope, my VIX is live. Make sure you're getting TVC VIX. TVC VIX is not delayed. Yeah, good question, Ross. So I want to look for 2 things. Green volume. Well, I guess 3 things. Green volume, price action, and the VIX. Sell off in the VIX will be your first quick indication. Influx of big green buying volume, and then the commensurate price action. All 3 of those things. If I see a hammer candle with big buyers volume, I'll start looking at throwing in some calls. In fact, I'll say this. If one were to play 0 DTE calls, a good position is if you were to take a hammer candle, buy the hammer on candle, and get a quick 20 or 30%er. Me personally, I don't do that kind of stuff. But if you were, that's going to be the smarter way to play the 0 DTEs. The big hammer candle under big volume. Well, here's the thing. The market can send any news they want at me. They could give me bearish news, bullish news. Bullish is bearish. Inflation going to 50%. It's fantastic for the economy. They could give me all that crap. The VIX is still 30. The market is still pricing in a large move. Implied volatility is still very, very high. Volatility is nuts right now. That tells me the market is perceiving a large move. Puts are egregiously overpriced because there's a large move being priced in. Yep, I'll be looking at the 449 puts again. Same thing. OM sounds different today. Am I sick? No, I'm good. Do I sound different today? A little nasally. You know, I do that. 452.39. Double green, double green. Still do. Fly for the military. Anyone considering leap calls? Negative. I'm not touching leap calls until, or even considering those type of plays until VIX starts dropping. Right now I've got two monitors. I'm in the process of acquiring a third. I want one of the big widescreens. Just because my streaming software takes up like half, like 3/4 of one of my screens. So, all right, so we've got some considerable bullish action here. This is the strongest bull action I've seen all day, actually. Do we have commensurate buying volume? No, we don't. Not yet, at least. Wait for the volume. Oh, nice, Ace Nick Gaines. Well done. Awesome stuff. Big old learners. All right, big green here. Yeah, definitely, Jacob. You're right. Coming up to S5, rejecting. Look at the VIX. See that yellow line? Everyone see the yellow line on the VIX? Watch the VIX. So we've been entering in this range for what, a couple hours now, or an hour? Not even an hour. Jeez Louise, time flies. So I mean, the VIX is risen 4 points. That's a considerable move in the VIX. It's up to 30 from being down to 25. So I mean, the market's shaking and baking for sure. We've got we went up to 460 down to 451. It's a $9 move. Going nutty. Where's your volume profile indicator? Yeah, so I click it on and off because I use it to build my levels, and then I turn it off because the data is already interpreted. But yeah, I could turn it on. Right there. Bam. See S1? See S1 and the POC? All right, watch S5. Now we're getting to the point is, do we start jumping into some calls? VIX rejecting that level. QQQ starting to get a little bounce. We could be entering kind of an oversold territory. What's the name of that volume indicator? Volume at price, VP. If you go into indicators, you type in VP. Go all the way down to KV4 coins right here. See this guy right there? Click on that, and I'll bring it up. I use the default settings. I don't change anything. Thank you, but I thought it was buying a call at different strikes. I didn't buy a call at open. I sold a call at open. All right, look at that. So we got a good rejection right here of S5. Which S4 was the big one. S4 was the big one. So now if your question is, why would you sell a put or why would you sell a call as opposed to taking a put? That's a great question. Selling a put is less risky because you have to be less right. However, it yields less money. You know, the less risk you have, as with anything in life, the less risk you have, the less you make, the less you return you have. The more risk you have, the more you make. Buying a put is more risky because it can go against you. For example, I sold the 4,600 calls. So as long as this price stays below, it could do all this number. It can go all day long and do this. As long as it stays below 4,600, I make money. Whereas if you bought a put and it does this and goes wah, then you lose 100%. You can lose up to 100%. So there's some give and take there. I elected to play both. I sold a call and I took puts on the way down. So sound effects are gold. Skills to pay the bills. That's right. Multifaceted. That's why if you go in and you listen to that podcast, I talk about this very thing, being a multifaceted trader. The more tools you have in your toolbox, the less risk you have to take. Or the less risk you are as a person. Just like when you say for example, I don't know, maybe you're a heavy machine operator. You are a very risky person when you first start that job because you don't know what you're doing and you can run somebody over. But the longer that you do that operating, the less risky you become because you start learning more and more. Same thing with trading. So if you sell a call to open versus buying a put, how does theta impact you? Theta is good because you want that decay. You want that position to be higher to collect more premium, and the theta works in your favor. That's why they call it theta positions, because the theta works in your favor. It decays the position, you collect that decay. So in this instance, these are very good environments, albeit risky, and they do make you sit on the edge of your seat. Like yesterday, like I said, I turned coal into diamonds yesterday. They do. Obviously, it's risky situations in this particular environment. However, premiums are so incredibly pricey that you can collect a lot of premium. It's very beneficial. It's very profitable for theta traders as well. So, as long as you know how to play the sides, this is great conversation because to me, like I'm a true student of investing. Like I love consuming investing material. Like I'll read about this stuff. I read books about investing. So, I failed you all in the past 6 months, not realizing there was this big of an appetite for writing positions. If this is something y'all want to do, cool. I was like, hey, people want to learn how to scalp long calls, long puts. That's what I'm talking about. But if y'all want to talk about both, we'll talk about both. Because writing positions is very beneficial. All right, VIX volatility goes up, means the market expects a big move. Usually goes down move. You think about it. What would drive the market to expect an explosive upward move? Well, news. News is going in this environment in a bull market, which we're still a bull market. Long term, we're still in a bull market. Upward moves are going to be an explosive upward move is going to be released by a sudden news event. Some sort of event that's going to cause us to explode upwards. Otherwise, we're just going to do the grinding up. We're going to have a slow trickle off of the VIX. We're going to have a nice little upward trend on the buying action on the SPY. In a bear market, it's going to go be reversed. We're going to kind of go reverse there. Tier 3 is more of a class where we learn to create these RS lines. Tier 3 is going to learn how to do everything. RS lines, right positions, different strategies, everything. How I go about my day, how I form everything you want to know. It's going to be basically me brain dumping everything onto you in the Tier 3. How large of an account would you suggest to have before attempting theta strats? I would say at least 25, 30 grand. You can do it with cheaper than that, but the whole thing about the theta is not necessarily the account size of the thing. It's the know-how. It's the knowledge, because you can face big gains, and it draws you in because you can go a week or two and not take a loss on theta. Like if you know what you're doing and you play conservative, you can go in 2 weeks and not take a single loss. But that one loss can smoke you out. It can destroy weeks worth of gains if you don't know what you're doing. So you have to be very, very careful with that. You know what's funny? Someone said that I sounded sick. I think a couple people did. Before this, I wouldn't call myself an introvert, but I'm definitely a quieter person. Like I don't go seeking out attention or talking. So here I go talking every day. It's like I'm utilizing my vocal cords. They're like, my vocal cords like, hey, what are you doing the past 6 months? Your usage went up way. Put calls on your vocal box usage, your voice box. Sorry, missed an answer. Yes, I'll be going over everything in Tier 3, just to summarize what I said. Learning everything. Anything you want to know, you ask. All right, green candles, bottom wick. Sustaining buying volume, straight green candles since 11:18 Eastern. Red candles on the Qs, though. All right, so now we're starting to reach the point, do we have a confirmation of an upward trend reversal? And now I want to start looking at longer positions until I see otherwise. What do I have in terms of obstacles? Well, I've got VWAP and S4 or co-altitude. So I have that coming up on the 3-minute chart. I want to look at a price action that could very well reject VWAP. We've got the south end of the AM range that I want to look at. That's almost co-altitude with VWAP and S4. A lot of different obstacles that we want to look at here. Not to mention volume. on the buying side is not all that crazy right now. It's sustaining, but kind of waning at the same time, if that makes any sense. And we don't have any big pops. See, like this, big pop in buying volume, sold off. Buying volume is diminishing. We'll have a lot of wicks here. So I don't see a lot of buyer strength here. Those are the obstacles. Start formulating sustaining. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Before I joined the server, I was doing credit spreads and made a killing when SPY was struggling around 420. Then it didn't blow me out in just a couple of trades. Learn my lesson. Be more careful. There you go. The 1 minute chart looks like a roller coaster. That's why I don't trade that. Watch the banks. Booyah. Yeah, so I want to look at key levels on the VIX where it pivots. So like VIX right here, 30.94. So like right, you've got this yellow line. So 39.4 is where I expect the VIX to start to bounce and come on, because it does. It did it already once in this range last time, and it did it again today. It's bam, 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 right off this level, and it wants to come back down. What was the best resource you used to trade so well? Man, there's not even one particular thing. I read every book I could. I watched as many reputable videos as I could. Not to mention, after I did all that, I got in the charts. I traded. And then after destroying an account, I learned to take smaller position sizes. Oh man, big red candle. I learned to respect the market, to know when to say yunkel, to when to stop. What you don't want to do is keep on investing and keep losing, where the market keeps twisting your arm until it just snaps your arm off. You want to say, uncle, all right, I'm done, and take a step back, reanalyze, and figure out what's going on. Where'd you learn how to invest in real estate in a very up-and-coming area? Don't necessarily want to live long here. Okay, good question. And I won't get too deep in here, but find you a good real estate agent that you trust. Maybe you have a friend that's a real estate agent. Befriend him, get to know him, who's good in the market, who knows what he's doing. I don't mean just, don't just go Google some real estate agent. Like, you want to interview this guy, because right now, just like there's houses inundating the market, real estate agents are inundating the market. There are thousands of real estate agents because everyone saw how much money you can make. Now everybody's a real estate agent. Find one that knows what they're doing, befriend him or her, learn the market, so you can get stuff. Because nowadays, if you want to get a good deal on a house for real estate or investment property, you have to buy it before it comes on the market. If you buy it on the market, you're going to get in bidding wars. You're going to pay a huge premium for these houses. So, and granted, this is not the best time to invest in real estate. Disclaimer. So befriend yourself a real estate agent. Secure financing, as much finance as you can, whether it be a HELOC, whether it be you putting together some scratch, whether you have to take out you do a investment property mortgage where you're paying 30% down, and you don't have to pay PVI and all that stuff. I'm sorry, PMI. So, and then you start looking for properties. And what I want to do, there's two different tenets that I fly by. School zones are king. School zones rule the real estate market. If you can find yourself a good home in the best school zone, you're golden. Because families that want to get in school zones, they are going to be your primary renters, high quality renters. And number two, crappiest home in the best neighborhood. So find you the crappiest home with the best neighborhood, break out your elbow grease, and start rubbing some elbow grease all over that baby. Fix that baby up. You can Airbnb it, you can rent it, or you could sell it. You could flip it. Just a couple of good stuff there for the real estate. Thanks, Vinny. What's a tradition trader instead? There you go. Trading your levels is better than real estate. Well, I want to have multiple sources of income, and to me, real estate is one. I want hands-off income, and real estate is that hands-off income. All right, so we're hovering S5. By the way, I'm going to give this another 19 minutes, and I'm going to sign off. I'll give it to 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, and I will punch my time clock and call that a day. 750K in bearish flow last 3 minutes. Look at this big red. Boom. Transparency. I opened an IBKR account. I'm going to test out the waters with that. I've never traded anything else except... I take that back. That's a lie. I did trade Weeble a little bit with just crypto. That's it. But, yeah, I want to see what the fuss is about. Plus, I saw the interest rates on margin. Crazy. You can get a $1 million margin for nothing. So I did open an IBKR. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's why I stopped using it. Well, one of the reasons I stopped using it was G-Brenny, for sure. Just bet Michigan on stat versus Iowa on money line and counted me to money. Nice. I personally don't watch all that much football anymore, but you know. It's a different broker on which to trade. All right, look at this. Hey, OM, do you make your move after or during the formation of the candle? It depends. It all depends on volume. Like right now, the bearish volume is not all that crazy right now. I'd rather personally trade the breakout of the bottom. Yeah, I'm not saying I hate football. Like I grew up playing every sport in the book. I was a big sports guru. But between having a family and you know, entertaining you all with my crazy dad jokes, and then my flying job, I don't have a lot of time. And on my Saturdays and Sundays, I would much rather spend time with my family, which I don't get to see nearly as much as I like, as opposed to watching football. So I don't think I watched a football game since 2 Super Bowls ago. Opening a 0 DTE put spread, 44.70, 44.60. For the upcoming Sunday class, do I have it decided against the subject matter? Not just yet. I'm going to write out basically a list of criteria, and I'll post it here next day or two. If you get more than 200 million in margin, you pay an extra 1%. Yeah, Sunday it's going to be 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern Time will be the classroom setting. All right, big red candles. Watch for the break below 451.30, 13. Sorry. VIX is testing pivot again. 30.87 right now. Well, it comes with Tier 2. You get 2 big things with Tier 2. You get access to our Theta channel, which kind of has assimilated itself as a Theta channel. And you get 10% off all merchandise from Merchandise Store, which, by the way, theoptionsmillionaire.com, if that's something you want to be a part of. Right now we've got a hoodie for sale. We have shirts coming. We got one shirt coming in this week and then two more shirts being designed and ordered. So generic, good investing stuff that's not branded by OM, but it's just some fun investing terminology. That's fun. And I've got a list of all my investment books that you want, if you're interested in seeing which books I read, they're on there as well. All right, so coming down testing lows again. QQQ. Breaking new lows. XLF. Red. Giving it all back, baby. Not to change the subject, but Lee Rat's GoFundMe, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I was incredibly, man, that made my heart feel good, dude. As you all know, yesterday or 2 days ago, Lee Rat got in a big accident, destroyed his car, and he's not getting anything for it, so we decided to open up a GoFundMe account. Well, one of our members did, Strat Mesa Boogie. Thank you for that. He was kind enough to take time to open up a GoFundMe, and some people gave some money for him to get himself a new car. So I appreciate you greatly for y'all stepping out for Lee Rat. Super good dude, man. Super good dude. He deserves it. So thank you all for an awesome community that would come together and do that. I think it's pinned in the general chat. So let me see. It's pinned in the general chat. Yeah, right there. There you go. Let me remove the embed. And then call Vinny for the car. Best deals in the Midwest. I don't think he's in the Midwest, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know why that's there. It shouldn't be there. But, yep. That moved. That's why, because it wasn't locked. Thank you, though. Yeah, good stuff. 451.84. We'll lock that right there. We'll lock that. There we go. Now I can't move it anymore. OM, when do you think is a good time to go in SPY leaps long-term long position on the ES? When VIX starts to drop. When VIX starts to retreat back down to lower 20s, 19s, a little before then, because then we'll probably already have a large move. But you want to be careful here. Like I'm personally not going to be looking at long-term leaps. There's too much volatility in the market. There's too much going on with Omicron, with rate hikes. And if they come out and say, "Hey, we're hiking rates sooner, way sooner," I mean, the market's going to crash. So you have to be very much aware of market conditions. To me, a leap long position right now is a little too risky for me. A little too risky to me. There's too much risk to be made. Man, if it gets that bad here in the United States, we're going to be in a rude awakening, man. Like, as you all know, my wife is in healthcare. She runs 3 different ERs, and they are maxed out. And they're just now finally to find some relief off Corona after the past year and a half. So if this Omicron hits and reignites that, it's gonna decimate our healthcare industry. Decimate. If you don't know anybody in the healthcare industry, then you kind of don't really see what's going on in healthcare. And it'll decimate. Whatever your stance is on Corona and the vaccine, all that stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the effect on healthcare industry. It's decimating. It's decimating it. Just got over COVID. 13-day right now. Nice, D-Money. Yeah. What are some of your long conviction plays? Boeing, biggest one. Amazon, Apple, SPY, QQQ. Those are my biggest positions. I've got some in Google, Nvidia. No, I don't have Nvidia. I did have a little Facebook. I don't take her too much in there. I don't like all that stuff, but that's something I come and go out of it. But the big ones: Apple, Amazon, QQQ, SPY. Boeing's the big one. I've got some Lockheed Martin. Those are the long-term. All the defense stocks. I've got long-term stuff. But yeah, you always have to have a big chunk in ETFs. You can't beat the returns on ETF from a 10-year, 20-year, 30-year perspective. Big bull minute 2 minutes ago, right here at 4:51. Oh wow. If they do entertain lockdowns again, you'll get your 2020 crash again. All right, look at this red candle. VIX finally popping through. Testing pivot. Oh, right here. All right, well, we close this out. Finally breaking 31.15. Well, they can't. That's the thing. Yvonne, that's the thing. They want to be able to put measures into place, but they're so incredibly short-handed. They're already pretty much strung thin. So there's not really much they could do. I mean, they could set up negative pressure rooms. They could set up quarantine areas and stuff like that, which they do. But in terms of staffing, there's only so much they could do. They're incredibly short-handed. All right, watch this red. S7 will be feisty. Oh, and why were you going to quit the market before Corona crash? I was tired of doing it. I was ready to invest heavily more into real estate. I was tired of working in the market, sitting in front of my computer, grinding away all the different charts, charting Tesla, Amazon, everything, Walmart, UPS, all that stuff. I was tired of doing it, and yeah, right when I thought I was out, the market pulled me back in, and then it got fun again. Yeah. Or real estate pushed me out. Yeah. Silvio Dante over here. Crazy. Thank you for not leaving. You're very welcome. Alrighty, 451.32. Got a little green action right here. Earlier, when you added the S6X7 line, did you look back at prior days lows? Yes, I did, Will. Well, I'll further clarify. Prior days price action, not necessarily lows, but price action. Look at that green. Our surgical backlog is 130,000 people. These replacements went from 6 months to 4 years. Some people are flying to Europe and paying out of pocket for orthosurgery instead of waiting here. Well, what can one do to not get out of a play too early? A sold for a 19% gain and then SPY flies down like crazy. I'm assuming you're talking about puts. Man, that's the age-old question, and there's no good answer to that. It's just gain as much knowledge you can about volume analysis, about price action, about market awareness. I mean, it's all the same stuff. Learn about the market as much as you can, and I guess experience. The more experience you have in this racket, the more you can anticipate this is going to keep selling or this is going to reverse. And sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right. Still, it's not something that you can get 100% of the time. Scaling out, yeah, there you go. It's a good technique, motion blur. Scaling out of a position as you get more in green, taking profits off will help you let things go. So if you've got a position, instead of trying to get the 100% win on the whole thing, when it gets to 20-30%, cut it loose or cut half of it loose and let the last half run to 100%. It takes stress off of you. It allows you to lock in profits and think clearly. If we only have one contract, then I mean, you pretty much just gotta ride or die. All right. Do I need to form an S8? Yes or no? All right. Ja Rule. Approaching $10 move. Approaching $10 move. 450.62. Boom right there. 451. What was that? Okay. Half a mil bull. I'm calling S8. It's gonna be a little different here. Let me write down this. What's the price action on this baby? Oh man. Oh, there's a lot of activity here. Write that down there. Write that down. All right. I do math. Okay, let me post this. If we pop S8, it's game over. Game over. So at least down to 445. It'll bring in some significant down movement. S8. Right here. Okay. All right, S8 is posted. Pre-market analysis. I think my spreads, where are they at right now? Oh man, they're almost 100% already. My first call credit spread is like 98% already. So I think I might go ahead and just take that baby off the table. I'm probably not going to be able to get a fill anyway on the calls, so I'll just go ahead and just probably cover the short side, let the calls long side expire worthless. And we're testing S8. I've got finger on puts. $443, $445 right there. We're going to go there. 34s. I'm going to go with the 446s for anybody listening. QQQ, red, XLF. Oh, look at XLF. Look at it. Would you look at that? Man, these things are shaking and baking like crazy. These 3 days are moving like 1 days or 0 days. Stock trading ASMR. All right. Let's see what we got here. I tried to get it filled at 255. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Look at the bonds. Look at the bonds. Holy smokes. VIX is over 31.48. Gah. Do I need to form an S9? I've never in my life formed an R9 and the very next day an S9. Like, this is just silly. The market is being a huge silly goose right now. Yeah, remember when the VIX would pop over 15 and we were like, the world was burning? Yeah. Nice, Vinny. Well done. All right, let's form an S9. SPY woke up and chose violence. Does anybody have yesterday's lines still posted? I'm curious. I want an overlay of yesterday's and today's lines. Man, look at this. Four, 4, 5. There's nothing under this level until 445. Actually, I take that back. All right. Oh, man. Good stuff. All right, so now we need to start figuring out what happens through here because we're currently at, S10. All right, if y'all want me to stay on, I'm gonna have to mute here for a second and go get me a drink. My voice is a little scratchy. Thank God for this standing desk, though. I'm just shaking out my legs. Holding 450, 55. Can it keep going down? Oh yeah. We had a $14 move. We've only moved $10. Only. I say that definitely tongue in cheek. 460 to 450. That's a $10 move right there. We did $14 right here. It can keep falling. It can go down another $4. It can go down another $7. $7. Is OM drinking to rip it? No. Haven't had one of them since Afghanistan. A rip it case race. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. Amazon $100 move. Yeah, buddy. I've seen it. You know what's funny? This brings back memories. Last December, when Amazon tried to do this crap. No, I'm still holding my credit spreads, which one of them's pretty much 100%. The other one is just about there. So I'm making good money there. I'm looking at entering a put under this position. I've already taken 7 plays today, so I mean, I've made some pretty dang good money today. Um, I'm looking for a play under S8 here. The buyers still haven't stepped in. There's not a lot of buyer's conviction, which usually we get something. Even the big sell-off, and we had a big run-up and then smoked it. Here we haven't really had much action. It's been all sellers controlling the market the whole way. So if we flush under S8, I would anticipate another dollar, dollar and a half at least until we start buying stuff up. Ooh, State Department's hacked with Israeli company software. That's not good. Where are my put premiums at? I may open up a PCS here. We're at 45.10, 44.50. Man, that's spicy. 44.50 is where we at. Still $2. Man, they're still getting $2 a piece for these things. Wow. All right, I'm doing it. Man, the premiums are crazy, man. When do you get a call? All right, so I took a PCS. So essentially, I'm in a weirdly legged IC, Iron Condor. I'm holding two credit spreads and then a put spread now. I opened two of them on the way down. SPX, Will. SPX. I trade SPX because I don't want to get assigned. Yeah, I don't. I won't do those type of positions on SPY. Here, I'll put that one in here. So I do intend to start posting my theta plays, but I want to be like the intent of my theta plays. I'm not. I don't want to be play calling with them. I'm very cautious to play call with those because I don't want anybody just taking them. That's the thing. Like, here, you know what? I'll post them in OM notes. How about that? I'm not going to play call it, but I'll post my write up in OM notes. December 3rd, zero Ds. Zero Ds. Man, they're already up big. Holy crap. All right. Man, this environment is incredible to trade. I love this volatility. Love it. This is fun to me. Jumping back and forth strategies, figuring out the price action. This is fun to me. I love this stuff. I say. I hope you all do too. It's amazing. All right, posted my write up. OM, so are iron condors best for low volatility days? I'm very careful to play. I would much rather play spreads alone than throw them into iron condors. Although here I kind of am doing it, back end ways, indirectly. Iron condors can be very profitable, and they allow you to utilize a lot more buying power because you could throw in those long positions. But to me, I like playing spreads better. I like taking out one side of the equation. Now, exactly, if now what to go back to your point, you said low volatility days. Absolutely, absolutely, do it. If you need to ask, then we're not in one, Rick. Yes, how many percentage points do we need to drop to meet the definition of a crash? So, I'm just messing with you. Alrighty. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Yeah. I'm telling you. Like, we are, I always think my pen is lighter. Yeah, this market condition is very, very fun to me. Like, I want you all to soak this up because in a year and a half from now, 2 years from now, we may go back to a normal market condition, although slightly changes because the game has changed overall. The game has changed. A lot more retail investors. The options chain, they're called derivatives, but at this point, like I think stocks are more derivatives of options at this point because the options flow is so incredibly crazy. But when things go back to a relatively normal state, you're gonna miss this. You're gonna miss this. You know that song, country song. Yeah. So when we go back to that area, volatility is gonna be a little low, and you're gonna have to start playing a lot more other strategies like riding calls. You're gonna have to start playing some strangles. So I'm gonna miss this. This is good stuff. It's good stuff. I hope y'all learn from it. I do iron condors 3 times a week. Win rate is high, but the losses can be massive. Yep. That's why I don't take them. I don't like babysitting. For me, one of the benefits of a put spread, call spread is that they don't require as much babysitting. Yesterday, obviously, was a little different, but all right, we got some green coming in, so this is where I'll be looking. Put spread's already up 50%. QQQ. Got a little green. XLF has got some green here too. Where do I find the write-up in the Discord? Head over to OM's notes, and I posted right up there. Thanks, Real Estate. This is a great live lesson. Oh, thanks, Will. Appreciate it. Hope you'll enjoy that. Here, this is a very unique situation for these type of spreads because one, volatility is incredibly high, which is maintaining the value of these puts. You could still get $2 out of these puts. It's crazy. Way outside the money puts $2, or I'm sorry, way inside the money puts $2. So they're still incredibly expensive because the implied volatility is up, and yet we've only got 4 hours left in the day. So the theta is going to decay these things into the ground. So this is the time to start buying up some premiums. You can start making some fantastic money on some spreads right up here. Yeah, they do, but that's why I do long calls against the put, or I'm sorry, that's why I buy long puts against my short puts so I can increase my buying power. I did PCSs. I'm holding both, but I just bought PCSs. All right, a lot of green. So my 4600 calls, as long as SPX doesn't close 4600, those will expire 100%. And as long as 4450 doesn't come into play, and my put spreads will expire worthless. So yeah, exactly. Chris has got it. So that is now my 8th play of the day. Love it. No volume. Hey, nice observation there, Joe Moore. No volume on that big bull move. OM, would you explain why everyone wouldn't just buy an SPX 5000 call a credit spread, because that for sure would expire worthless? Isn't that guaranteed money? Well, let's take a look at it. That's a great question. Well, one, the premium is probably going to be, well, let's take a look. Hold on. I'll bring it up right now. Let's let the numbers do the talking. All right, well, here we go. If you're talking about a 12.3, which is today 5,000, the ask is 5 cents. You're not going to get filled because there's nobody buying or selling that crap. The premiums are incredibly cheap, so you're not going to get anything. You're going to get way less than what that. There you go, Colin Baker. Your premium is going to be less than the actual cost to make the trade. So that's why you have to balance the return. That's why I want costly premiums. I want the premiums to be very high. The problem with that is that the closer you get to strike, the more the pricier the premiums, the more risk you're going to take. Because if your position goes in the money, you're going to lose money. You don't want the position to go in the money. You want to stay outside the money. And in order to do that, you have to take a balance between how can I collect the max amount of premium while maintaining a position that's high probability of staying outside the money. You want the position to stay outside the money. So nice ace net gains. Well done. Yeah, we're still alive. That's right. All right, I'm still figuring out whether I'll take another long position, calls or puts, S6, or we're going to break that down to S8. And here, for a visual aspect, let me close all this out. Close all this out. I want to mute this. I'll give you a visual aid. So, there's the brackets. As long as SPX stays between those two lines by the time it closes, both my call credit spread and my put credit spread will expire 100% gain. Which is, 45.27, 4,600, and 44.50. So there's a big spread there. And premiums are still very pricey. That's what's crazy about this. Love to see it. Love to see it. Man, look at that bull flow. I'm actually considering signing up for that ace net gains. Not gonna lie, I like that. 50. I do 50 spreads, Kevin. What are the odds of R1? I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know. We just did a $10 move, and we have to make a $6 move to go back up to R1. In this market, very, very possible. I'll be watching the volume to see. That's true. That's true. I could. Yeah. How does 8 EMA help me? I'd like to monitor the 8 in the VWAP, which I just turned it off and you turn back on. By the way, watch out for mean reversion. So we've got the 8 EMA and the VIX. Those are two that are highly used between all traders. So I want to be apprised of it. I want to make sure I'm watching the action around those two levels because they do have fluctuations around there. So remember what Vet said yesterday. Remember what he was talking about plotting, fading the highs and lows. Make a habit of here. I'm going to change these to white. Make it a habit of plotting high and low breaks and fade them. This is what he's talking about. So break that low right there, fade it. Now we're coming up here. If we break this, buy calls and rip that. And they're scalps. Those are meant to be scalps. So he talked about that yesterday. I think he was in the Super Patreoners room though. But now I've got a lot of lines on my chart. So. Where was that? I want to go back and look at when he was talking about that. I'll do it later. All right, y'all. Well, it is 11:30 my time, 12:30 your time, or Eastern time. I was very presumptuous to think that you're at all in Eastern time zone. I'm like the only one that's not in Eastern time. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call that a morning. It's been fantastic, man. One of my favorite trading days in a while. 8 plays, a lot of wins, 1 loss. No, 2 losses. I'm sorry, 2 losses. Like a 14% loss and like a 5% loss. But very, very much green on the day. It's been great. So I hope you all were able to learn a little something. Learn about some credit spreads, put spreads, when to take calls, when to take puts, how to play some levels, watch some volume. So I appreciate it. Thank you all for taking the time to be here. I hope if you are new, if you are an outsider who are looking in, because we have the free day today on the Patreon, I hope you learned a little something. I hope you like what you see. Come join us. A very small entry fee, $10, and we go then have these discussions all month long, every day, every morning, and learn a little something. So if you have any questions, feel free to DM me anytime. You can shoot me an email, optionsmillionaire2020@gmail.com. If you want to take a look at my books as well as our clothing line, theoptionsmillionaire.com. Head on over to the website. Tell me if you see anything. Wife is fantastic. She ships her pants every day right out. She ships things out very quickly, like within a couple of hours of order. So take a look at that. And so I appreciate y'all being here. I will see you all bright and early Monday. Y'all be ready. I'm out. So you go.